Ever wish you had someone to tell you the truth about what it takes to run a successful business and live a fulfilling life? Well, amiguita, you've come to the right place. So grab your favorite cafecito or cocktail, your courage, and let's get to work. I'm Jenna Sabores, a therapist, business strategist, mindset coach for entrepreneurs, and a feisty Latina from Miami. And I'm determined to teach you the exact tools you need to stop settling and start kicking some serious derriere. What do you say? Are you in? Then let's get started. Welcome to Latinas Empowering Latinas podcast. Welcome back to another episode of Latinas Empowering Latinas. Today, I really want to focus on the idea of collaboration over competition. I just returned from a few events, actually. I was with my family in Orlando for 2 weeks. I combined business with vacation, which was amazing. And I was able to work remotely with some clients, but I was able to speak at the National Association of Social Workers Florida Chapter annual convention. And it was an honor to speak to other therapists about how to open their own successful private practices. In case you don't know, I actually created an entire program. It's called Private Practice Blueprint. And it is my exact blueprint, my exact steps for building a practice from beginning to end. So from opening your doors, everything that you need through marketing, and then also the mindset piece that a lot of individuals struggle with, even therapists, on how to create a successful practice and market it. All things we were not taught in our clinical programs. For whatever reason, I do not know. I teach this program. It's an online self-paced program. I also coach therapists or entrepreneurs one-on-one, in addition to having my clinical practice. But I have to say that the passion that I have for providing this platform and for giving back to our comunidad in a different way is something that cannot be replaced. So although I enjoy my clinical practice and I love supporting individuals and I love working with them, to be able to teach other therapists how to have that same quality of life for me is everything. Going back to these 2 weeks in Orlando, I spoke at the convention and I also held a networking event for therapists. Something that I find that the most complaint is in the field of private practice, or the fear of private practice, I should say, is that people feel isolated, scared, alone. They feel like they have a loss of community, or that they don't have supports, or they don't have other people that understand them, right? Because being an entrepreneur is very different than it is to work for a community mental health agency, or to work at a hospital, to work at another nonprofit agency, or to work at a school. It's a whole different business, as it should be. It's my favorite. What I wanted to do was get all of these individuals together, and we met at a restaurant at Cooper's Hawk. And we had the most phenomenal time. I was talking to them, to all of these people that I met, all these therapists, about how to open a successful private practice, how to market it, how to show up online. But one of the messages that I told both groups, right, both the social workers that I met with and I presented at the convention, as well as the therapists at the networking group, is that your biggest referral source, aside from your work and referral of word of mouth, are your colleagues. I'm going to repeat that for you. Some of the best referrals will come from other therapists. And I need you to understand this because there are so many levels to this. There are so many times when I went into a new space, right? Because oftentimes we're trying to find a good fit. As I was growing my practice, I went from renting a space as I needed it versus finding a part-time space versus sharing a space. Now I'm in my own space. It's been a journey, right? And you'll go through this journey as well. But there were several times where I moved into a space where there were other clinicians, and the other clinicians, I will say, were threatened by the fact that there was another therapist that was working in the same space. And here's my answer to you. If this is how you feel, I need you to redirect your mindset, because there is more than enough room for us at the table. There are more than enough patients for everybody. There are more than enough individuals in this world that need us. There are more than enough people in this world that need you. And here's my stake, however pompous it may sound, but I want you to feel the exact same way. If you put me in a room full of other therapists, I am confident enough that I don't need to fight with anybody to find my people. I am confident enough that the people that I want to work with, people that are a good fit to work with me, I will attract and I will be able to forge rapport with and have a good relationship with and take on as clients. When you work from a space where you think that there aren't enough or other clinicians are a threat to you, you miss out. Why? If you go through my program or if you've gone to any of my events, I speak about having a clear ICA and niche, and I will go into depth with that in future podcast episodes. Essentially, it means that when you service a very specific type of person and you have a specialty, a very specific specialty that you address, people will find you. It feels like honey. And I'll definitely talk about that because this happened to me at one of the events. When anybody is looking for a specialist, when anybody's looking to connect, right? They want someone that feels good to them. I tell this to my patients. Therapy is like dating. It has to be a good fit. That same rule applies to therapists in different arenas. People have different personalities. People have different styles. People have different modalities. People have different ways that they take you on a journey to get to the end. It has to be a good fit. Instead of looking at the therapist next to you in a setting or next door or in your zip code as a threat, connect with them. Some of the most beautiful relationships, professional relationships, happen when you collaborate. I am huge on collaboration. Do you know why? Because I am comfortable in what I have to offer, what I bring to the table, and I don't want to help everybody. I love helping people, but I am not for everybody, and I am okay with that. And I love the people that I love to work with. For example, I love working with entrepreneurs, and for all intents and purposes on this episode, I work with therapists that want to be entrepreneurs. My ICA is a Latina therapist from California who is in a committed relationship but doesn't have children. She works in a community mental health platform agency, and she wants to start her own practice. I know that there is a handful of other therapists in the world or other coaches doing that. And I know that there is a minuscule part of that population that is serving Latinas. And I'm okay with that because I can go to an event like I did the other day, and my ICA, in addition to other ICAs, will be there, and I will attract them. Why? Because I am there to serve them, because they connect with my story, because I can connect with how they feel because I was in their shoes. I don't want to take on your clients that have trauma, that have bipolar. I don't want to deal with children who have parents who don't want to change. Those are not my people. And it took me a long time to be okay with saying, I'm going to refer those out. I had a really great question that came up in one of the networking events that I hosted. And one of the clinicians said to me, but Janessa, what happens when it's not a good fit? How do you kind of like break up with the patient, or how do you not take on a patient if they insist? And here, take notes, or if you can't because you're driving, it's okay. Just come back and listen to this again. I want you to tell them, listen, we're not a good fit. I am not the best person to serve you. You need so much more than I can offer you. But I have this other clinician in mind, or I have these other resources, and I will help you and I will give you this information so you can find someone who can serve you, because you are in such a position. You are so willing and able to get the help, and that is amazing. And I want to help you get the help that you need, but that is not me. I will underserve you. And I don't want to do that because you deserve better. And then you know what you do? You will have created these genuine relationships with other therapists that you can refer to that does specialize in whatever it is that they need. My biggest takeaway in today's episode is do not compete with one another. Do not see other therapists as a threat. Genuinely connect with them and build a referral list, Rolodex, however you want a referral, that you can go back to and refer your patients or refer people that contact you if you're full, if you have a wait list, because people looking for help really shouldn't and don't deserve to be on a wait list. You should be able to access help for them. My takeaway, do not feel threatened. Show up and serve. Create relationships with other therapists and cross-refer, because that is your biggest asset. Your competition is not competition. That is in your mind. They are your biggest referral source. Collaborate with people. because when you can collaborate with aligned audiences, that is when your business will grow. Now, that was the end of my soapbox conversation. For more information about any of my upcoming events, go to janessaborges.com. And you can also look at the show notes of today's episode. I cannot wait to see what you guys are coming up with. Have an incredible 4th of July. You deserve it. I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so excited you tuned in. The best way to find out the second a new episode is released and receive all the valuable tools and actionable steps I share is to subscribe to the podcast, so make sure you do that. Sending you so much love until next time. Bye.